The closure of tire manufacturer Goodyear's Kariega manufacturing plant after nearly 80 years has left nearly 900 workers without jobs, consequently dealing a devastating blow to the economy of the Eastern Cape.
Now, while Goodyear says it will retain its sales and distribution operations in South Africa, unions and government are scrambling now to try and find a strategic partner to rescue the facility and protect jobs. For more on this, we're joined by Wanda Jack, a former Goodyear employee and Eastern Cape's Numsa Regional Secretary. That's Mziyanda Twani then. Let's perhaps start off with Wanda on the line. Wanda, it's a good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the program. After so many years at Goodyear, how did you, your colleagues, and maybe even your family react to the closure becoming a reality last Friday?
Good morning. Good morning. It was not an easy thing because of all. It was shock to us because it was a short notice. Since June that we get a message that from the company expected that the company will be closed on the 15th of August, and then it was not a good thing to us because we're not expecting that the company will be closed so soon. So because of we know that we got to work up until to 65 years because of our contract in Goodyear, but it was happening that the kind of arrogance of the management of Goodyear, not communicating to everyone, it just call us within the whole speech and tell us within 3 minutes that the company is closed on the 15th of August. Then we try to discuss and call the union, must be intervened. What was happening inside the plant. That's what was happening. It was not a good, it was bad news because of we know that in the UNIC in Kariega, we're facing a lot of crime, a lot of unemployment. People are not working, but it's worse. A big company like Goodyear it's closing unnecessary. And then we don't know what is the impact that make the company close because of we didn't see nothing that was happening wrong because of in the last 8 months of last year, the company comes and said that it congratulated us with the high performance of doing that, but after 2 weeks, then we hear that the company is closed.
Did they give you, how much time did they give you from when they announced this to the day that they closed? So how long ago did you know that there was going to be a closure?
It was a short notice because of, it was always 2 weeks, but the time that the company comes and announces only 5 minutes out of the many years that we're working. I was already 29 years working here, but the company always addressed us on the 5 minutes. That's what was shocking us. Wow. But some of the workers was coming in the hall, and Paul Gerard was coming out, and they said that he's already done the slide. He just put a slide, and then he just 5 minutes talk, and then he leave the hall.
Yeah, Wanda, we'll talk to you later about what are you going to do now, because we don't often think about what happens next. But I want to bring in Mziyanda Twani, the Eastern Cape Numsa Regional Secretary. And Mziyanda, good morning. This is devastating news, and there were a number of back and forth negotiations between yourself and the employer to improve the Section 189 settlements, so in terms of the severance package. But beyond the packages, both you and government are engaging with strategic partners. One of the options you have on the table is to try and reopen the plant. How hopeful are you that this can happen following a 2-month review?
Good morning, Imran, and good morning to the viewers. Look, indeed, the negotiations were very tough, not easy, draining, sleepless nights. But we are now, in terms of the signed collective agreement on the retrenchments, we are given 60 days to find a strategic partner. And this is what the union, together with government, are busy doing to chase that timeline in order for this plant to be opened. And indeed, there are the people that are making calls in order for this plant to be reopened. Government has shown an interest so that workers are brought back to the plant. The plant is reopened, and we're hopeful that that will happen within this time. But should that timeline not be made, we should be pushing back Goodyear to give us further time to look together with government for strategic partners in various ways, in various forms, in order for the plant to be reopened.
You know, it's so interesting because when you think about the tariff debates, the impact on local economies, the issue of dumping becomes one of the topics, and you see this a lot with respect to chicken and poultry farmers. But Goodyear has cited competition from cheaper imported tires as one of the key reasons for shutting down. From a worker's perspective, do you feel that our government is doing enough, Mziyanda, to protect local industries from what is conventionally known as dumping?
From what we know is that government is doing everything else to come to the party to make sure that tariffs are raised to a level where local industries are protected. But what is disappointing is that Goodyear wants to join those that are dumping tires into the country because they want to keep their distribution channels open to bring in tires from other countries around the world to our local markets, which is not helpful at all.
Mziyanda, one thing that's sadly happening is that they're also closing a plant in Germany. They're closing a plant in the US. They'll call it a market downturn, but we can talk about the dumping as a key part of that. Your National General Secretary says, yes, they will not dispose of the property for at least 2 months. You're hoping that that gets extended beyond the 2 months, if I'm correct. Please correct me there. And what would that help with? Would that mean you could reopen as Goodyear or under a different license?
No, what was very clear between the parties during and throughout the negotiations is that Goodyear wants to take its IP. It's prepared to leave the facility, the land, plant, and machinery as is for the next 60 days. But what I'm saying is that if there are people that government and Numsa are talking to in this period and that 60 days can't be met, definitely all parties must push back Goodyear in order for them not to close the plant, in order for them not to scrap the current machinery that is in that plant or remove that machinery into another site, because that's necessary equipment, that's a necessary facility, is strategically placed where it is in Kariega. So if we've got to push together with government, that 60 days be extended, that's what we must do. We've got no other choice, because what will be left in that community is devastation. As Wanda has said, high levels of crime there because of high levels of unemployment are an issue that all social partners must be more worried about with the closure of that plant. That area will remain a ghost town if we don't do everything else to make sure that re-employment of those workers is guaranteed. That's our own focus at this particular moment.
Wanda, and that talks directly to your lived reality. If the plant doesn't reopen, what do you think the future holds for you? You know, you've relied on Goodyear for many years for your livelihood. What happens next? What do you need right now?
So for me, it's not about what it was of got more years that are working. What about the people that are the new people that are coming in Goodyear? People that have 5 years, they are buying cars and buying a house now. I'm worried about those people, because the young people, the young blood that are coming there because of the situation that. But our hope is on the union, as the regional secretary said, that they are still negotiating that the government can buy Goodyear. So we've got a lot of hope to the union, and we trust our union that they can do our best level, as is done to us. They are our best level to negotiate. You know that they negotiate with the arrogant management, but they try our level best to do us, to make us happy as people. But on our side now, for us, we've got many years in Goodyear, that nothing we can do because of the age is accounting to us. And then we pray that the union can champion and win the negotiations, so that someone can buy the Goodyear, so that our children and our brothers can get a job back.
And I think that's going to be so important as well, Wanda. So thank you so much for being able to share your story with us, because it really is heart-wrenching. It's about the workers that this impacts the most. Mziyanda, just as a final question here, you've been able to secure what is an improved severance deal as well for staff, if I'm not mistaken. See each retrenched employee receive lump sums, etc. If this was to not close, would you be able then to secure more funding, and how long are you hoping to keep this open for? Because it's going to be about keeping manufacturing open for an extended period, and who would be able to do that? Is the IDC possibly who you're looking at?
We throughout the retrenchment process, we have been engaging a very arrogant management of Goodyear led by Paul Gerard. And the issue is every alternative that we have placed on the table, including business rescues, including strategic partners, including sale of the business, but all of those have been blocked. You know, the intention and the objective of Paul Gerard and his team has been basically to implement the mandate from the mother plant, which is to close the plant at all costs, irrespective of whether there was a strategic partner or whether TIC and IDC were able to come through, or other investors from other parts of the world, or including in the country. All of those were not considered as alternatives by Goodyear management, as led by Paul Gerard. So that is now left between Numsa and government agencies to make sure that within the space of time, or beyond the space of time that were given in the agreement, that we find those people, whether in groups or individuals or institutions or government agencies, that plant must be reopened. That's our major focus at the present moment.
Mziyanda, just a quick follow-up on that. One of the things that you as a union have been concerned about is a potential domino effect, or setting a bad precedent in industries like the one that Goodyear operates in. I mean, how scary is it that when one falls, perhaps it will trigger other multinationals who operate in our territory also taking the same route?
Yes, you will recall 5 years ago that we had a plant of manufacturing tires called Bridgestone Firestone here in PE. It closed down its facilities here, and it left in the similar way that Goodyear is doing. So what we are currently experiencing is that all suppliers to Goodyear have already given us notices of further retrenchments, you know, of their own very employees because of Goodyear's decision. So we are up and down, up in arms, trying to defend what seems defenseless if we don't turn back the wheels of what Goodyear has started. So we're busy with that. There's a domino effect. Our economy has been, especially in the Eastern Cape, been dearly affected. And Eastern Cape is the province with the highest levels of unemployment. And our responsibility is to push and pull government to come to the party, because our provincial government, we have not seen them coming to the party to rescue the situation. We have been relying on the TIC and, you know, to come and assist. And we're hoping that everybody who has got an interest, because we have seen social partners, communities coming to the party, coming to assist, that this situation must be reversed and we must rescue it, including the domino effect that the Goodyear decision of closing the plant is potentially going to do. So all our hands are on the deck.
Wow, such a sad morning. Hey, 900 families affected there, one of whom was talking to us, Wanda Jack, a former Goodyear employee. I want to thank you for your time. Mziyanda Twani, the Eastern Cape Numsa Regional Secretary, thank you for your time as well. We will be watching the story closely with you, and good luck with what happens next at that plant and others.